G'day guys and welcome back to another UFO topic discussion video. This is an encounter that took place back in 1988 on the border of South Australia and Western Australia. Now the UFO topic has been something that I've been interested in since I was a young lad in the area where I live in the early 80s to probably the early 90s. There used to be a fair lot of UFO sightings in my area. I have discussed some of those encounters in other videos on this YouTube channel, so you can go and check those out. But today's topic is a very interesting topic that took place with a family who was travelling from Perth over to South Australia, and they had an encounter on the Nullarbor Road. Now, the Nullarbor Road is probably one of the largest and longest roads here in Australia, reaching all the way from South Australia to Western Australia to Perth. I've been lucky enough to travel this road a fair few times in the early 2000s. Never had a UFO encounter, but I have heard lots of stories of travellers encountering strange lights in this area. So this is one of these stories I will discuss. Any relevant information that you guys want to follow up on this, I will link in the description bar down below. UFO encounter, Nullarbor Plain reported. A Perth family say they were terrorised by a UFO which plucked their car from the road on the Nullarbor Plain. Police said yesterday that they were taking the report seriously after investigating damage to the car, which was covered in ash-type substance. A truck driver and a car driver also witnessed the bizarre event after being chased by the UFO along the air highway just inside the Western Australia border. Mrs. Faye Knowles and her three sons, Patrick, 24, Sean, 21, and Wayne, 18, were about 40 kilometres west of Mundarabella, driving towards South Australia when they first saw the glowing object about 2:45 a.m. yesterday. They told police they had watched as it chased the truck and car, which were travelling in the opposite direction, before turning and landing on their own vehicle. It apparently picked the car up off the road, shook it quite violently, and forced the car back down on the road with such pressure that one of the tyres was blown, a police spokesman said. While this was happening, the family said their voices were distorted and it was as if they were talking in slow motion. Mrs. Knowles told police the UFO turned the car around and placed it back on the road, facing in the opposite direction. Once they were back on the road, they had jumped out and fled into the bush where they hid for some time before going back and changing the wheel. They drove to Ceduna in the far west of South Australia and reported the incident to local police. By chance, crime scene investigators from Port Lincoln were in Ceduna and examined the car. We have to take it seriously. There's no reason why we should not, Sergeant Fred Longley of Ceduna Police said. There were too many witnesses for us not to. The car was damaged and was covered in ash from the object, and they were clearly shaken up, Sergeant Longley said. The Knowles drew a diagram of the UFO, which looked like an egg in an egg cup. There you go. Also, there was, I think it was probably about a week ago after this incident, there was another incident with a UFO on that same stretch of road, witnessed by a bus driver. So I will discuss that in another video. But this is a very interesting topic. Like I said, in the 80s around this area where I live in the mid-north, which is north of Adelaide here in South Australia, there were a lot of UFO sightings that had taken place. And some of those stories I have discussed in videos on this channel. But it's really fascinating. And that's the reason why I'm so interested in the topic about UFOs. So this is a very peculiar, I can't even say that word, but this is a very, very unique sighting that took place. Now, this family also were interviewed on the news. If I can find the actual news video, it is on YouTube. I will link it down below so you can watch the interview with the family as well. But they are dead set that these guys saw something, and yeah, very interesting indeed. Now, guys, this is a interesting topic that I will love to talk about more about in future videos. Not only UFO sightings, but also I love to get out and do a bit of sky watching and astrophotography and stuff like that. I love looking up at the stars and seeing satellites to shooting stars and space junk coming through the atmosphere and all that type of stuff as well. So look out for those videos, guys. All right, that's it for this one. Thank you for joining in. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Remember to hit that like button, share this video. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.